everybody, Remington from Impulse Creative, and I'm excited to talk to you a little bit about the outbound email sequence that you can do in order to get more conversions. So yesterday we talked about Meetings 2.0 and the new Drift for Sales tools. I'm going to jump deeper into the email sequences that you can set up and how to pass that off intelligently to a chatbot to enable for a live conversation. So the story goes like this. So you want to hit a targeted list of accounts that you have created an email list for. You want to create some outreach and you want to send a series of emails to them without having a pesky unsubscribe button on there, and you want to make it so that those people get a targeted message that you can start a conversation once they hit your site. The problem is everyone's doing that right now. And so one of the biggest things that you want to do is you want to soften the blow. Rather than saying schedule a meeting with me now, maybe you want to start with a little bit more, check out this link on our website or check out this case study, and then try to take that conversation into a live chat. So I'm going to show you how to do that in about 2 minutes with Drift. So we're going to jump right in. So the first thing that I want to show you is how the email comes in to your email if you are sending a targeted message. So here's an example of a message that was sent from the Playbook, and I'll show that to you in a second. I've also got the response here so you can see how you could trigger this sequence if you were to get an email or you wanted to do it from composing a new message in Google for Work. So essentially you click enroll in a sequence, you would enroll that contact into that outbound sequence, and it would automatically enroll. It's literally this easy. So what we want to do is make sure that we can get these contacts into a system and start rolling with some kind of ongoing messaging. But it doesn't end there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to set up one of these. You can jump into your playbooks, and what you're going to have to do is click the email playbooks in the top right. And then once you get into the playbook examples, you'll scroll down to the bottom right, you'll see blank email playbooks, and you'll see this send a sales email sequence through Gmail. So that's the playbook that we want to create, and this is where you get to have some fun. Now, full disclaimer, you're not allowed to use this tool, in my opinion, if you just use the template examples that they provide. No one wants to get the same templated email trying to get some outreach if you're not willing to put some time and effort into making this a very specific and measurable item. So that being said, I'm going to show you a couple areas where you can set this up. So the first thing is you want to compose your emails. You can do all of it just like in the Drift for Marketing emails. You can do all of that right here. You can drop in imagery, you can drop in any merge tags, and as we scroll down, you can see that you can choose it to thread with previous emails, because it throws the RE over it, or what you can do is you can change the subject line. So as you go through each of these steps, you can add in as many of these as you'd like, and you can set the different durations if no reply. These sales sequences would stop if a reply comes in through the system. So once you have defined out your message and your sequence, then you can go in and you can preview what the emails would actually look like. This can be really handy for approvals. You could easily screenshot these and then pass them off to others. And then the other options that you can do is you have smart sending. Drift is going to look at the time zone and the open rates and send it when the system says that it is the best time. And then of course you can make it so it only sends on weekdays. It's not sending on the weekends. It's also a good idea to create an exclusionary list. I can show you how to create a segment in another tutorial, but think of the reasons why you would not want someone to get this list, and then of course have that defined here. And then essentially what you have to do is you go to send email. It's going to ask you to install your Gmail account and the Chrome extension, and essentially you'll be able to enroll contacts straight from Drift. And you'll be able to share this with your entire team, this playbook that is, so that they can start sending as well. So once you hit publish changes, you'll have the ability for it to show up in Gmail and also in the contact area of Drift. But where we can take this one step further, and this is where Drift really comes out as a winner, is now you've got this email sequence trying to nurture people. What happens when those contacts actually get to the website? And this is where it gets really fun. With these emails that are being sent, this system is not siloed to a point where it's not smart with the other side. So when someone clicks on a link to see a case study or to see an email and they go to your website, the cookie for Drift is literally going to pick up where it left off, and it allows for you to start nurturing that contact a little bit more, and it allows for you to set up a chat playbook. In the example I showed you, we have a link to go see a case study. And so we don't have to do anything special with that link, and if you have other links to your website throughout that whole sales sequence, there's nothing that you have to really worry about. But what we want to do is we want to create another playbook, but this time it's a chat playbook, and that chat playbook is going to be a greet outbound prospects that you emailed. And you'll see that right here on the left. Once you do that, this is going to come through as like a welcome message, and it allows for you to continue the conversation from that email regardless of where it is. So you can modify your welcome message, and this is where the personalization really comes in, is you can actually greet these contacts by name because you just emailed them, and that contact data should be available. So once you do that, you can put in your initial message. You can get that conversation started and literally say, let's start chatting. And essentially the goals is to identify that it's an outbound conversation, and of course you would get that right in your Drift chat app on your phone or on the computer. So we set up the targeting, which these should be automatically set, and so we're going to send it to all website visitors. If there's other targeting that you want, you can do. And then this is the most important piece. For your display targeting, you'll see a condition, and essentially what it is if you go to Drift, the outbound session is true. This means any outbound emails you send, if the contact comes from that email, you will see that will mark as true, and that can be the trigger for your bot. You can also add in other conditions for a particular page, and you can segment this down. It just really depends on the nature of your playbook. That is the overview of how to start a conversation with some of these outbound emails. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to answer them. And if you'd like what you see today and you want to subscribe, please do that here. And if you'd like to see some of our other tutorials we've done, you can go ahead and do that right here. Until next time, Remington from Impulse Creative. Have a great day.